panel discussion on the topic Employer Value Proposition, EVP and Branding, Capturing the Attention of Today's Workforce. I request the following members to please come on the dais. Aravind Warrier, Lead People Partner and Culture, Volvo, as a moderator. Sougata Sen, Head Campus Recruitment, 𝐒𝐥𝐬 Technology. Shailja Bohra, GM Global Talent Acquisition and Mobility, Schneider Electric. Manvi Chhabra, TA Lead Lateral and Campus, Alvarez and Marshall. Supriya Chatterjee, Manager Earl and Campus Relations, Persistent Systems. I request the panel members to please come on the dais. I would now like to hand over to Aravind Warrier to carry on forward.
Thank you. Connected, sir? It's connected? Yeah. It's not coming. You want to show the slide? Yes. Yes. Good evening. Good evening. I know this is going to be this one, and we are in midst of your leaving and then this show. So sorry about that. So very good evening to all my leaders who are here, and you play a bigger role in society. So what we thought is, we'll take up the last piece, which is called the employment value proposition. Any guesses what is employment value proposition? Some of my leaders are here, probably you would know it better. Any guesses what is this employment value proposition? It's not to do with any kind of love and affection, but what exactly is this? Any guesses? Any thoughts? What is employment value proposition? And it's very important these days also. Any guesses what is employment value proposition? Any hands? Even if it's wrong, it's right. Any thoughts? Sorry, yes, please. Yes, sir. Someone, if you can just hand over the mic, yeah?
They are giving returns in the form of some sincere, you can say, efforts to that particular job.
So basically, what do you get in return for doing a job at your organization? Big round of applause to sir. Thank you very much. You have set the context.
Arvind.
Yes, sir.
Arvind, here. Piche, left side.
Achha.
Swati.
Okay, yes, we need more. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Job that you're doing.
Fantastic. So that means you have reduced our 5 minutes. Thank you very much for that. Okay, fantastic. Actually, just moving on. I think slides are very important than my face. Okay, employment value proposition, employee value proposition. There is a lot of huge sort of confusion also, but most important thing which we are going to discuss is, as rightly said by both great minds here, it's actually when you join an organization, what are you going to get? Or the most important thing which we'll get into the topic right now is, I want everyone to at least have just an understanding of this. If someone is working for an organization, especially the youngest generation minds, your own students, who are going to join the biggest of the companies, if they join X organization, what are they going to get? And believe me or not, all Generation Z and all the millennials who are part of your institute, the first question they are going to ask, besides the salary, what exactly are you planning to give me? And this is what is going to get addressed in this session. That's very important, the why. And this is the question which all my leaders who are present in this panel discussion, Saugat, Manvi, Shailja and Supriya, and myself, we are going to discuss. So I wanted to set the agenda, and this is something which I would request all my leaders, which we are going to discuss at this point of time. So let me just take the seat and start the discussion. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Manvi, I'm sure you would have seen employment value proposition in your organization, right? You have been doing this campus thing. What exactly comes in your mind as the drivers or the components of a great EVP?
Thank you, Aravind. My name is Manvi. I belong to an organization known as Alvarez and Marshall. This is a niche consulting firm wherein we tap a very focused group of talent. Having said so, today we are having this discussion more particularly about our Gen Z or millennials, because that's our, future workforce, if I have to say about. So, gone are the times when only compensation, bonus, holiday was the only criteria for a, future employee to, select an organization from the top 100 shortlist of the company. Things are changing, expectations have changed dramatically. Now, our future talent pool, or Gen Z as we are calling it these days, are focusing on something deeper, right? They are focusing on culture, they are focusing on how we are treating our employees, what sort of learning opportunities which we are giving it to them, what sort of career advancement opportunities we are giving to them. Also, one deeper aspect which I really feel there, that they really are looking for a purpose to themselves. They want to work for an organization who is not only doing, something for a profit-making business. They want to join an organization which will be aligned to their own value system as well.
Awesome.
So this is something which is a key differentiator here these days when we are trying to design EVP for
Brilliant.
any organization for that matter.
Awesome. So if I have to just steal your ideas, can I just put an abbreviation for it? It's basically FICHL, basically flexibility, innovation,
Right.
career,
Right.
challenging work, health and well-being, learning, and the most important thing on the base of the pyramid is purpose.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you.
And I think it will change from candidate to candidate, right?
Awesome.
You have to identify an organization which will actually resonate with your set of values. And this is very important when we are designing EVP, and it's a constant method. We have to revise this employer value proposition every now and then, because the talent pool and the expectations which they have from an organization is constantly changing.
Brilliant. So that means it's not some one-time exercise you do and then you forget things. Actually, every time you have to reinvent the
regularly
wheel.
analyze it. You have to regularly
Brilliant.
assess it, that are we on the right path or not.
Awesome. So that means Generation Z, earlier if you would have been a baby boomer, the so-called EVP components or the drivers would be different. And Generation Z and the future which is going to come up, you again have to do it as a talent acquisition expert, because
Right.
that's what the aspiration of the generation is.
Right,
Superb.
right.
Thank you. That's a great start. I just have another question for Sougata. Sougata, you have been in this campus. Yesterday also you were in one of the campuses. What important question. Who is the owner of EVP? It's something which is very controversial, but then who owns it up? That's a very important thing. It's a college, is it organizations, who owns it up? We need to bell the cat now.
Okay, good evening, everyone. First questions, whenever I go to a college, we represent a company. They look at us, through us they look at the company. So
Awesome,
basically we
yes.
represent the company. So as per my own personal opinion, the HR or the talent acquisition team, when they are in the campus, they represent whatever the company, the good and bad about
Absolutely.
it. The second are the students who are part of the process, who have joined earlier. They are word of mouth.
Correct.
Because end of the day, the students will only listen to their seniors. They believe their seniors. They may not believe 100% what HR is saying. Because I always say that we are salesmen. We sell our company to everybody. So, but if they ask the seniors, they will say, this is a good company or this is a bad company. The biggest EVP for us, when we go, we don't hire in kilos, like 200, 300. We hire very few, less numbers. Some of the colleges may be aware of it. We say that we want to make a difference.
Oh, wow.
We are not looking at crowd hiring.
Awesome.
We are looking at somebody who is interested in making a personal brand or a legacy for themselves. And we identify that potential leader and then we polish and groom them. So somebody who is looking for a leadership role in the next 5 to 7 years' time, we look at that sort of people. So that's that EVP for us. Do you want to be part of the also crowd, or you want to stand out from the rest of the crowd and make a name for yourself?
Awesome. Any other thoughts if someone wants to throw some light?
So hi everyone. Good evening. My name is Supriya, and just to add to what Sougata said, he placed it really well. Like when we go, we put a pitch through a pre-placement talk, right? And we tell who are we,
Correct.
and what are our values. And it's very important that students also make it very clear that what kind of workplace they want to get associated with. So very simply, I work in Persistent, and we have a very strong desire to be into innovation, excellence, and we always work with a very cutting edge technology. So we are always in a, in this mode that we want to get into something which is emerging, trending, and that's why we have a very strong inclination, and our DNA is technology, right? So we want students who have a very curiosity and love towards technology, right?
Awesome.
So it's very important that you need to understand, the students need to understand what kind of culture they want, what kind of workplace they want. And then if they want compensation, they should look for companies who will offer them good compensation. If they want a really fabulous office space, then they should go for a company with a very beautiful interiors, right? So they need to make it clear rather than just by going word of mouth, it's experience. And experience is something that you need to feel. Experience is something that you will go through once you're a part of it, right?
Brilliant.
So it's very important that I again understand, you go with the reviews, you go with your seniors, very important, but every individual have their own way to experience it and to understand.
Brilliant. So just to steal something which our predecessor, I think Deepthi had said something around 3 Ws. Work, work environment, and the work culture, where people look up to you. Something called on the base of the pyramid is again the experience part. And if the experience is really good in terms of the work environment and the culture, the so-called the students become your influencers, right? And the TA just needs to ensure the influencers are being rightly informed and communicated. Is my understanding right?
Certainly, TAs are the moderators. HR are the
Fantastic.
moderators who are driving this entire EVP.
Very good.
But it's a top-down approach, right? It's
Yeah.
coming from the organization's
Brilliant.
business and obviously from the leadership and going downwards, right?
Awesome.
Like one thing just came up to my mind. Yesterday I was doing a panel speaker at 𝐄𝐝𝐮𝐬𝐤𝐢𝐥𝐿 Symbiosis Institution of Operations and Management. Therein one candidate asked a question from me that, what should we do if someone gets laid off from a certain organization? And we never expected that, right, to happen with any of us,
Absolutely.
right? But obviously, students come up to us and say that, these are the normal things which are happening these days, and why is it so? The EVP doesn't state that, right? EVP assures you a safe job, secure job, but why it is happening, right? But to that question always comes up in my mind that it always boils up to, as a student, what you really want to choose as a career. Do you want to hustle? Do you want to choose a path which will challenge you? And if you are not living up to that challenge, obviously they will make you jobless, right? But if you want a comfortable job, you want to have a slow pace of learning, then you also have to decide what sort of organization you want to choose versus startup, which is a fast moving job, right? You have to grow up yourself on a very fast pace and hustle up very high to reach up that level very fast.
Awesome. So that's a very important facet of the whole thing, because finally, these days, the students are so knowledgeable. They have got so much of information overload. So they know whether they have to be part of the gig economy or something, part of the full-time economy also. But then most important thing, I don't know how much everyone could relate to what Manvi said. VC plays a bigger role in an organization. One is the values. Another is the culture, and probably I need to put another L also to it, leadership. VCL, probably the value culture which is being driven and cascaded by the leaders. That becomes the DNA or the soul of the so-called organization. Fantastic, that's great. Okay, next question is to Supriya. One important thing is, what is the role of experience in the whole scheme of things called employment value proposition? Where do you think experience, because we are talking about experience, you don't, right now every student, every children you look at, especially the college going, they all need experience, they speak about experience. Where do you think this piece fits into the whole scheme of things, which Manvi also was saying about the dimensions and the structures of EVP? Where do you think it fits?
Right. So, so experience, when I say about the experience, I strongly would say that right now, the students, they should have an experience of on-job. If I say on-job, it has to be hackathons, the
Very good.
coding contest, I understand that, everyone is right now talking about the skill gap and upskilling, reskilling, but you need to even understand that the companies are also putting in a lot of effort so that they know what exactly they need to deliver once they come to us. So when I say experience, then with me, like Persistent, we provide 6 months of experience wherein we have a training program, right? And it's not something which is very much different. Other than learning, we give them an holistic view. You know, we have several wellness programs so that they understand that what kind of a work culture we will going to provide, right? And when when we say that, okay, we are into a technology-driven company, obviously, you know, you need to be into that learning. You need to have, so, you know, again, just to break over here, when I interview, there are students who ask me about how is the work-life balance.
Absolutely.
Right? And I'll tell you, each and every company is putting in a lot of revenue, resources, and even study, like how we can improvise on the wellness, overall wellness. But at the entry level, you need to even understand that here you need to stretch your hours. Here you need to ensure that there might be a bit this balance with the work life, because you need to do extra so that you can bridge that gap. Awesome. There's already a skill gap. We are providing you, but then you need to work harder, right? When they talk to me like, I want a remote work, I want to go to the hybrid setup. So I say that, you know, you are just out of your college. It's very important that you go into a corporate environment. That's how you're going to experience. That's how you're going to know, like, who are the leaders, how you need to connect. So these are the things I feel that it's very important. The community right now, the freshers, if they want to get future ready, they need to ensure that they put in more hard work than what they are doing right now. They need to understand that they should go to office. You know, the hybrid model might not be suitable, because when they go to office, they know the culture. How they will know the culture without they will not go, they will meet people over there. So I think when I say experience, it has to come, like, they need to get it from the various sources which are available everywhere. And whenever they are in the organization, they need to ensure that they are part of it 100%, more than that.
Simply brilliant, actually. Supriya, but then I think there's a small catch, which is something which I would request all my leaders to just at least take a note of. Experience is not one-sided. Probably this is where I think as placement officers or all my leaders sitting in this room, we should also say that students should also give experience in terms of what they speak, think and do during interviews. It's not one-sided approach like, that's something which I want to add on from Supriya. Shailja, do you think in the whole scheme of this customer journey, which people always speak, where do you think this experience comes into picture? Especially for the people who are sitting here, what is your thought process?
See, here, when we are talking about experience, probably what you said was perfect, because yes, it's not just about the experience that students will get, but also the kind of experience that when the colleges will go to, when the corporate will go to colleges, what is the kind of experience that they receive? Yeah. And when we talk about experience, it's not just about feel good, but it's about the knowledge that you bring to the table. Awesome. I think that brings a lot of difference. And also then it's a lot about the authenticity, that, okay, yes, people are coming out, talking, are they ready for the world? And that's the kind of experience that the corporate would look. And that's where we would want to go to that college again and again.
Awesome. Yeah. I think I have a simple question to all my leaders here. I mean, important question which Shailja has thrown is basically, this is question which I think as TPOs we should be asking students also, why should you get hired? Correct? This is something the experience answer for that which students would be telling you, you should hire me in terms of the value I bring, the impact I deliver, the so-called contribution I do for your organization in terms of my words, action and thought. Thank you very much. Because I think it's not one-sided game when you say an employment value proposition or an experience value proposition. This is something which students also give to the so-called people who come and hire great talents from the organization. Thank you very much. Right. That's a fantastic. Right. Shailja, I have another set of questions for you. Sure. Shailja, what makes EVP effective? We have been saying a lot of things. You can tell me in terms of a measurement, or if you have some other wisdom around that.
Sure. Thank you for this question. I think everybody's been talking about culture, then we're talking about, I think Supriya mentioned about people asking about work-life balance, then we're talking about skills. The most important thing which I would definitely focus on, and that would be the top priority for any EVP, that would be the authenticity and the alignment. Now when we talk about that, what does that mean? first of all understand for the corporate that, okay, where are we, what do we offer? If we offer remote, if we offer hybrid, why do we offer, what do we do? And that's what we need to communicate to students, to all the candidates out there, not just talking about the campus, but everybody who's looking out there. The second aspect, what I talk about is the alignment. What is the company goal and is our EVP, what we have, is it aligned with the company goals? The next aspect, one was this, and the other aspect, I mean, I've already spoken about the communication. Consistent communication is key.
Very much.
But when you communicate, what do you communicate again becomes very, very important.
Right.
It has to be very clear
Subtle.
and simple, so that your employees will also understand that, okay, this is yours. So for Schneider, our EVP is impact. The first word would be inclusion, then we have teamwork, then we have curiosity. So this is what we will look for candidates. I mean, we will look for these values in candidate beyond the work life or skill or anything. So therefore, this simple, concise value is something which is very important, which will actually attract not just the internal employees, but the external target audience. I think that's what I would clearly say. And the one last aspect, I think, which is very important, and that's more from the employer side, what's the unique selling point? I mean, that's where we would want to differentiate that, okay, this is the differentiation that we have. These are 4 points that comes to my mind clearly, which will definitely make an EVP very effective.
I don't know how many could take some key points from this. Most important, what she was highlighting is basically in terms of the fitment. Most of the times we speak a lot about EVPs, but it is not in tune or alignment with the business. Number 2 is the most important aspect, being very authentic. I always believe leaders said that in terms of, I mean, when you say authentic means your action should speak more than your words. Next is the differentiating factor, which sets you different, USP. Next I could think of is basically in terms of what you really said, which is the need of the hour, is clarity of what you speak.
Exactly.
Most of the times it's confusing and it is convincing. I don't know, sometimes when you get confused, you get convinced. So thank you very much. And last but not the least, the most important thing is consistency in what you deliver.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the 5 points. Now one important question for all my great 4 leaders here is, can the whole set of great TPOs or great minds who are sitting here, college minds who are sitting here, do you think EVP applies to them? And if yes, what do you think, what are the important facets or key components which they can think of doing it? Anyone can take it. Maybe the last question, so you all can be happy. Yep.
Right. EVP also applies to them, but it is not about placements.
Absolutely. Thank you. Brilliant point.
It has to start from day one, at the time of admission.
Oh, okay.
A student comes to a college. What do they see? The first thing they see is the big hoardings about placements. 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs. And they get impressed that if I join this college, I will get a 30 lakh job. So my only task is to join this college. The college will get me a 30 lakhs job.
Absolutely.
I have nothing else to do.
Correct.
The college has to set the expectation that you are joining this college to gain information, to gain education, to gain knowledge.
Upliftment.
Our EVP is, compared to other colleges, we may be giving you some separate trainings on, say, Salesforce or full stack or anything. What are the extra courses they have, extra COEs we have? What is the different X factor we have? Why you should come and join us? How after 3 years, 3.5 years, when you are planning for placements, the companies will be coming to you, and you should not ask, sir, how many students you are planning to hire so I have a chance? They should say, sir, even if you hire 1 student from the college, I am the one getting selected. That mindset change has to happen. That is where the colleges will come. That is the EVP from the college point of view.
Awesome. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I would like to add in here. So one of the EVP I feel strongly is like, you know, as Sougata have said, that from the day one, you need to tell them, you need to teach them. At the same time, you need to even make a career path for them, right? Right now, when a student is in the final year or even before they go for the campus placement, they want, all of them want to do ML, all of them want to do AI, all of them want to rush into, I mean, you know, as a TPO or maybe as a faculty member, you need to tell, you need to evaluate, assess, and tell that, okay, maybe your strength is not AI, but definitely you can get into cybersecurity, you can get into automation, right? There are various different IT avenues, and it is their responsibility, I feel, for the college also to give them a direction, like, okay, fine, like, you know, everyone cannot land up in AI and IT, ML, and all the trending things, right? So I feel even that is one of the things that is needed, a career guidance and a clarity, what's their strength and what they should make it as a career.
Super. Any thoughts, Shailja and Manvi? At least I got 3 fantastic keywords or things which I can communicate to all my leaders. It's CEL. I would request you, I'll steal some more words so that abbreviation I can share with my leaders. So start with its career, this one, experience and learning. Anything else you would like to add? CEL can be completed.
I guess all of us are custodians of EVP.
Yes.
We are driving EVP at our own organization levels. Students from university really need to recognize in the job description, in the company description itself, what actually excites them, what exactly attracting them to this particular organization to apply to them. Sometimes they do just apply blindly in order to get jobs, but that is not really a sustainable option for looking out for a career for yourself. If you have to make a career, you also have to look at us as you are evaluating a CV. As we are evaluating your CVs, you are also evaluating a CV of an organization. EVP is nothing but a CV of an organization. So there should be an alignment between both of these things so that the right fitment is there, and we can also shape our future workforce accordingly.
Okay. Just one point, since you were talking about your CEL, I think. S is reached. Just one more word that I can give you. Maybe you'll have to create another word for this. The most important word would be value. I think that's something which is very, very important. The value that we can bring in for students, or students can bring in for the corporate, I think that becomes very, very critical. And that's where experience or anything that you would call would end.
Okay, so I was in a lot of colleges in Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra last 1 month, and we were doing GDs, group discussions. And before we went, all the students, they had the mock GDs which are conducted by the colleges. Every college has some amount for the mock GDs and the soft skill training. And the moment we gave them a topic, 99.9% of the feedback I got from them, sir, we were never ready for such topic. Whatever the topic the college used to give us, it used to be 1, 2 or 3 AI and women empowerment and machine learning and all that stuff. The whole 1,000 students are having the same topic. And we are giving them topic which is making them the force to think of some points. Say, sir, we have never been taught, we have never been trained. This is not being taught by our college. So this is a request for all of us. This is where you can play a impact. Hire somebody who will not do a textbook training to the students. If you are planning to do some training, give it to industry trainers who can use their past experience and force the students to use their mind and come out with some ideas during the GD. Because this is the same, I am not talking about myself, the students are telling me the same. Sir, your points are very fantastic. We have never heard of such topics. So this is the feedback I want you to convey to all the colleges, that we can do something better here.
So just to make things little clear, I think one of the expectations from any organization is, or any of the institute is, to ensure you tell the students that our institute is not an employment exchange. We make you employable. So just to steal their ideas, it's called SELSA, right? First is, how do you create your own employment proposition would be, tell them about what exactly you plan to give them in terms of career. Next is, when you join our institute, we are going to give you a hand-rich experience, like Sougata said. Make them think, because thinking is the most important thing which is missing because of AI. Next is constant learning, because when you have great experiences, you learn, unlearn, and relearn. S is about, most important thing is self-reflection. I think that is missing in this age. I think self-review as or self-analysis, which we call, is missing these days. You're so much hooked into the mobile phones, like what we see right now in this room. And last but not the least, the most important is authenticity or value-driven leadership. I think this is what world needs, and this is what organization also expects from the students. So I think all my leaders here should really look into your value proposition and should be built on SELSA. Okay, so with this, I'll have to say thank you. It was fantastic. Any questions, any thoughts, any feedbacks? Feedbacks, okay, yeah. Any questions? No questions means everyone is happy. Fantastic, that's great. Superb. So thank you once again to all my leaders.
And thank you, Aravind.
Oh, thank you.
you
Supriya.
for the fabulous modulation.
Oh,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you all. Excuse me. I thought it's going to be a punishment now. Yes, sir. Yeah, we have masks.
Thank you, panel. Now I'd like to request Subhajit sir to felicitate our guest. Yeah, sure. I would like to request Satya sir to felicitate Aravind Warrier, lead people partner and culture, 𝐤𝐤𝐢𝐥𝐥. Next, I would like to ask Satya sir to felicitate Sougata Sen, Head Campus Recruitment, 𝐒𝐿 Technologies. Next, I would like to ask Satya sir to felicitate Manvi Chhabra, TA Lead, Alware and Marshall. Next, I would like to ask Satya sir to felicitate Shailja Bohra, GM Global, Talent Acquisition and Mobility, Schneider Electric. Next, I would like to ask Satya sir to felicitate Supriya Chatterjee, Manager, Early and Campus Relations, Persistent Systems.